Prudential Disability Insurance Company also does long-term care, and I've been representing a claimant who has a disability claim but also has a long-term care policy with them for more than 10 years. About 9 years ago, we litigated a case on behalf of my client who has bipolar schizophrenic disorder. He was a physician who was no longer able to practice, but also he was a danger to himself, which required him to have supervision from family members. After litigating that case, we were able to get him back on claim, and I'd say for about 5 or 6 years he was pretty good without Prudential bothering him too much, although they would often continue every 6 months to request claimant forms to show that he's still under the care and treatment of a physician and that he still has to have constant supervision so that he's not a danger to himself or a danger to others. Now, people usually think long-term care means you can't do 2 out of the 5 activities of daily living, but also these policies have what's called, if you have severe cognitive impairment and require the supervision of another employee to protect yourself or harm to others, then you can also be entitled to coverage. And that's what happened for our client. Shockingly, I received a letter the other day, and it's basically a one-page letter from Prudential that says, we reviewed the medical records and we don't think your client's eligible for long-term care anymore. What's so unbelievable about this particular case is that my client, about 2 years ago, slipped and fell and ended up having a traumatic brain injury requiring brain surgery due to a hematoma on his brain and swelling of the brain. Secondary to the bipolar schizophrenic he was already experiencing, he now has cognitive impairment as a result of the brain injury. Further, the brain injury exacerbated his schizophrenic condition because now was he not only paranoid and depressed and anxious about everything that was going on around him due to his inability to work, now he has all of the issues dealing with his physical health condition due to the brain condition that he had. We had just sent medical records within the last month or so to Prudential. They reviewed them without any basis whatsoever for denial. They go ahead and send you this one-page letter. So we're obviously going to work on an appeal and get this overturned immediately, and if we have to sue them again, we'll do so. But you can never let your guard down with Prudential. I mean, these medical records even said that the client was in a downward spiral with his condition. They were contemplating having an inpatient in a facility. And what's really going on here is that they basically came to the conclusion to say the family can take care of him and we don't need to do inpatient care right now. And what I'm willing to bet happened is Prudential had a nurse look at the file who said, well, he doesn't need inpatient care, so I guess he's okay. Well, that's not what the policy says. And what happens is you have these unqualified nurses or unqualified claims person review a claim for Prudential, make a determination to say, yeah, the client's fine, and they don't understand the terms and conditions of the policy. So this is going to be quickly overturned on behalf of our client, and everything was done to try to avoid this. But the point is, people think you go years and years and years and they're not going to bother you, but they never stop. Prudential specifically will always monitor the claim. They will always continue to look for any possible basis they can to deny the claim. So in this case, we got this letter just the other day. Within 24 hours, we turned around an appeal letter, and we're currently waiting for the reversal of this claim denial. But it was so frustrating and so unbelievably, disgusting, the conduct of Prudential, that I wanted to get out there and let you know about this type of situation that occurs with Prudential all the time. And it was so important in this case that the medical records continued to be documented every 2 to 3 months, and we were able to have at our disposal immediately very strong medical records from the psychologist, the psychiatrist, also from the claimant's treating neurologist. So we jumped on it right away. We're confident this is going to be overturned. If you're someone who has a Prudential long-term care policy or any long-term care policy with any company, feel free to give us a call. We will give you a free consultation, walk you through your claim, and let you know immediately how we can assist you with your claim. Thank you for considering us.